So I managed to get this in the supermarket the other day because I want to do some cuttings of these lavender. So let's have a look. Well, it said to mix one of these sachets with 5 litres of water, and I don't need that much. So I think what I'm going to do, I've just put about an inch of water in here. I'm going to wet that, dip it in here like rooting powder, and then stand it in there. And then I have to leave them for a few days. I have to make sure it doesn't dry out. Right, we'll wait and see what happens.
Well, we're in our ancient kitchen, and was it episode 5? I think it was episode 5 when we first brought you into this room, and I don't think we've been in here since, actually. So we promised you a couple of updates on the spice cupboard, which is in that corner there, so we'll show you that in a second. Before we show you that, the last time you saw it, I'd virtually finished it. It was late one Saturday evening in the summer. It was very hot. Remember that day? Was it 40 degrees that day?
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes, it was finished, but I had to just tidy it up a little bit. There was a little bit of staining I needed to do on a new piece of wood that I'd put in there, and I had to fix it to the wall because it's very top heavy and the floor's very uneven, so I screwed a couple of brackets into the top of it. And then of course we had a very interesting day a few days after that, rejarring all our herbs and spices, and you did the labels, and in the meantime I was putting it all in, and so we've ended up with our spice cupboard, so we'll show you that in a second.
The spice cupboard isn't going to stay there because it makes that corner really dark.
Yes.
But we need to get rid of the boiler first so it can go over there maybe.
The boiler.
Because we're actually we're using this room, but we've put these tables out because we're trying to find out how we want to use it, aren't we?
Yes. There's a lot of work in this room. It's a major project to get it working.
It's a big room, but there's actually not a lot of wall space because you've got the boiler, you've got fireplace, pantry with the door, a cupboard there, a door there, kitchen window there, and a door there.
So there's a limit to the wall space by the time we put the sink in.
Behind me.
Yeah. But at the moment we're using it. We were left this lovely dining room table. Two, but this one in particular, this actually extends even further, so we could comfortably sit 10 around it. And this is going to be a kitchen diner, so kitchen dining room. We haven't got a separate dining room, and we don't want one. We quite like actually kitchen dining.
I think it's more sociable.
Much more sociable. We had it in the UK. So we've got this dining table, which we're not looking to change, are we? No. We're quite happy with it. It's a nice table.
But we want to do an island. So you've got a prep area with a sink and hob and stuff. So. But the major thing two major things is to get rid of that. But the whole floor has got to come up. Yeah, there's no waterproof membrane. No, and in the winter, it's just been concreted and it's really uneven. Yeah, and in the winter you get the odd little bit of damp coming up from underneath. Not puddles or anything. It doesn't stop us using it. So that's a major job, ripping that up. We're going to talk. This video is going out Wednesday, our midweek one, but on Sunday we're going to do our day in the life, aren't we? Which we're actually going to film tomorrow. And we're going to talk about the difficulties we're having at the moment, because a lot of you know about Susie's problems.
And of course, this sort of job we would have tackled ourselves quite happily, wouldn't we? We would have.
Yeah, I could have done anything
Yeah,
before.
we would have ripped this floor up ourselves. You would have been happily wheelbarrowing out all the stuff all day long. You know, we're very much a team, but unfortunately, we're limited now.
As you would have seen in our first videos.
Yeah, you've seen
moving. I was actually moving rocks and stones before I found out I was ill.
Yeah, we've been ripping down ceilings, and you've been, you know, yeah. I mean, so we're going to talk about that in more detail in our day in our life. But yeah, this is a major job. So what we're doing now is just accommodating it.
Well,
Inhabiting it.
Yeah.
Inhabiting it the best we can. We're making it function because ultimately we've got to function. We've got to eat. You know.
Well, when it's too hot outside, it's nice and cool in here.
It's beautifully cool. So yeah.
So it's nice to sit here, really.
That's right. So anyway, we'll give you a quick walk around just to see how we've set it up, and of course. There is a nice piece of furniture we've never showed you. That was a barn find. I don't think we've ever showed anybody yet, so we'll show you that in a second. So first things first, we'll move on to the spice cupboard, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll show you that because we did promise you we would, and it's functioning quite nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, this looks good. I'll just show you inside here. You can see what we've put in. Looks good.
And down the bottom there, there's a lonely pot of tarragon, which goes perfectly with chicken. That's our little joke.
Okay.
But it's a bit dark in this corner, I'm afraid. And we've got the glare from the window, unfortunately, which isn't helping the filming. And just thought, because you remember I decoupaged it with the chickens. So there they are. And if you remember, they were always meant to be just there in the background rather than the main feature, just hiding the roughness of the wood. And that's what they've done. So we're really happy with that.
So there you go. That's our spice cupboard.
Perfect. I'm glad I thought of it.
You'll remember these from the previous video that Rolls got out the barn and polished the leather up. So we're actually using them in the kitchen now. Well, we've got 5 in here at the moment. They're really comfortable.
They are actually really lovely.
I love this olive green.
Yeah, I think we can see that on camera, and you've seen it before anyway in one of the midweek episodes when I pulled them out of the barn. So they're getting used. So dumped in the barn, and now they're being used. 5 of them. We've got 3 of them to do a little refurb on. Not major, but at the moment we've got 5, which is more than enough because there's only 2 of us. But yeah, so we're really pleased though. So there's a couple of updates for you: the spice cabinet and the bistro chairs.
So this is the unit we dug out the barn. We did do a bit of footage on this, which we can show you again. I started painting these before I got ill. I've still got these to do, and Rolls needs to sand these doors.
Yeah, they're a little bit warped in places, but it's actually a really good piece. But it's just like that walnut dresser that we found. You know, really neglected, full of junk, full of rubbish.
We put these handles on.
Yeah.
But I can fit loads in here. I've got all my pots and pans in there. It's a great cupboard. And then we've got crockery and pots in the top.
So it's allowing us to function.
But it needs...
Yeah, I've got to get it. You know, but our need at the time was to get storage, wasn't it? So we grabbed it, just tarted it up quickly.
Treated it for woodworm, but there is a pelmet missing off the top.
Yeah. But in a way, this kind of tells you the style of the kitchen that's going to be here, because we're not going to have any glossy, shiny surfaces or even wall cupboards. You know, it's all going to be very rustic.
I actually think this was from the kitchen already before, because everything in here's got this horrible brown paint on, and that's what this had on.
Yes, it did, didn't it?
And you sanded it down.
That's
so
right.
This we're gonna sand it down and wax to match that. Paint the doors here.
Yeah, 'cause it's a handy little cupboard there.
Yeah. Right, so we got our new water meter here because we're on mains. And this is the old pump from the well, which doesn't work. It is disconnected, but we've got to take it out. Some big concrete slabs there. And the water runs up into the attic from the mains all over the house.
So our kitchen sink is going to be
the
there.
sink is going to be here.
Possibly.
We can't put it here because the windows in front all open inwards.
Yeah, so you can't obstruct them.
So it's a
anyway.
bit tricky.
Well, you'd be too far away, you wouldn't be able to reach
And
it.
actually, I don't want to lose that cupboard. I like that.
Yeah, we're keeping that. There's a shelf. Well, there's brackets in there for a shelf, but there's actually no shelf, so I'll have to build one. But anyway, that corner's going to be kitchen sink. We haven't decided on the unit that the sink will sit on yet. We've got one or two options, but we're quite a way away from being able to do that. We've got to rip the floor up first.
Yeah, you can see the floor.
Yeah. It's okay. It's it functions. It's fine.
Yeah.
Something we never showed you. This was hanging on the wall in that episode, but it was actually not there. It was somewhere else, and we forgot to film it. But this was left here, and it's quite nice. And
I like it. And there's even a key here.
there is a key. We can't get it working actually, but at the top there you'll see grapes.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite nice. We'll maybe get it working at some point. But that was left here, so we're not going to get rid of it, even if it never works. It does actually chime, funny enough. But even if it doesn't work, we like it.
So along this wall, we need to put in a fridge freezer and double oven.
Yeah, if we can fit it in that wall.
And a dishwasher somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's all got to fit in that area.
Yeah.
Right, I know we showed you the ceiling before. This is our only light out. I'm surprised it hasn't fallen off yet.
But we're going to come to that in a moment.
Yeah, and we haven't made a decision on what we're doing with it yet.
No,
We're going to keep the beams, but the colour and stuff.
It's very dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very dark. So we were talking about sandblasting.
Sandblasting's really expensive.
Doing a wash on it or some sort. Funny enough, our neighbours over the road who invited us over for a very nice afternoon. They had very, very similar ceiling to this, didn't they? And they had, I wouldn't say painted it, they just sort of lime washed it.
Yeah.
And it really worked actually, and I've never been keen on it myself.
I don't think I'd do the main beam, but maybe the others, or just in between where the ceiling is.
Okay, so anyway, it hasn't progressed at all since you last saw it, other than we are now inhabiting it. But there is a reason, that there's a major part of the project which I'll show you outside, which is holding us up, but I'll show you that in a second. But should we get back to this light?
Yeah. This right, it's all got skanky bits. Right, this is a find from the attic above the kitchen, and we thought it would be nice to actually make it into a light. And if you remember from episode 8, The Wonders of Nature, we showed you these lights that were left behind. They had some white shades on, which we didn't particularly like.
Yeah, that was the 3 you lined up on the bed. Just seeing those 3 in a line there, they would look good over a kitchen worktop.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
In a line.
But the shades...
But maybe they're too big, the shades for that.
A bit too modern looking.
Yeah, perhaps.
I don't mind the lights.
Just seeing the way you've lined them up, it suddenly
Yeah.
struck that that's where they could go.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to you at the time,
Exactly.
they would be perfectly lined up somewhere,
Yeah.
and we've thought about it. We fancy them in here above this table.
Yeah, hanging from
But
there.
you didn't like the shades?
No, they were too new.
Yeah, they were a bit. So we'll do something about that.
Yeah.
So that is going to be our kitchen light above this table,
Yeah.
basically.
So we could get some of those filament light bulbs to go in.
Yeah, there's various. If you don't go for the shades, there's a few options that we've seen. But of course, again, it's going to be very much in with the rustic, old feel of this kitchen.
Yeah.
So we're quite happy. That's called a yoke, and for those of you who don't know what a yoke is, I'm sure you do. It used to be tethered on oxen, and then they would be pulling heavy farm machinery, etc., ploughing or whatever. And of course, these two loops here are for the necks of the oxen.
Or they might have been carrying something like.
Or maybe carrying, whatever.
Milk churns.
Milk churns, yeah. So that's going to be our main lighting over this table. And I think that will look nice. When all this happens, we don't know.
I actually like that light. I like the pendulum.
Yes, it actually goes up and down on the pendulum.
Yeah.
So
we haven't done it because it'll probably fall off like the other kitchen.
Yeah, it probably will. But we'll find somewhere. We may still put it in here over the cooking area.
Refurbish it.
Yeah, brighten it up a bit, and it's a little bit.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it, my fault. So there you go. There's a little look. One or two updates: the chairs, the spice cupboard, and this big cupboard behind camera where I am. And this is how we're functioning. The oven that we're using is in the other kitchen. So we manage. We manage. How long this will be for, I don't know. But
and that's the door with the gate on that we've just done.
The gate. Sneaky look at the gate. I think the glare is a bit much actually.
Yeah.
Problem when you point the camera at the light. You might be able to see it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, one job that's a major job that's going to hold this whole thing up is concerning this wall here. Now, the rosemary garden is behind this wall, the other side of this wall. And if you look at all this green on the wall, in here, that's where the rosemary garden is. It's all the way up here. So this actual floor is 2.5, 3 feet below ground level, effectively. Now it's only this part of the building because the actual main house we have to step up into the house, and that's actually ground level. So
but this is the same for the boot room too, because that's.
So I'll take you outside in a moment, but the actual rosemary garden level is here, and therefore this gets damp in the winter, and the damp seeps under the floor, and there are little pockets which you just get a little bit of moisture on the surface. So I'll take you outside and we'll show you what we've got to do. But before I do, there's a good little place I can show you in the boot room, which will just explain it even better.
But also we want to put a door in where this cupboard is to go through to the back garden, because the only way you can get out of there is from the main hallway. Yeah,
we can't get to it other than that.
No. So it would be nice to get out there from the kitchen.
Yeah, then we'll use it more, the rosemary garden. Doorway in there one day. Yeah. But let me show you this problem. Right, we're in the boot room next door to the kitchen, and just want to show you that the outside windowsill is this height, so roughly here. Okay, so here I am inside, that's the outside windowsill, there. So let's go out and have a look at it.
So you can see there's a slope up to it here.
Yeah. So here's that same window, and that windowsill was up here inside, but you can now see it's here. So all this below ground, that side.
Yeah.
So to make this kitchen work, we have to dig all this soil out, and the doorway that we were talking about is roughly here somewhere. So we would come up, is that right?
It's probably where that stone is sticking out.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to create a doorway to come up here. So we have to dig all this out and build a retaining wall to stop this soil coming back.
With some steps going up.
We'll need steps to come up, which will bring us somewhere to here. And we've got a nice level area here, which would be a lovely eating area. But there's one problem, and it's this tree. It's our hazelnut tree. Now we like it, but unfortunately these roots are going to be all around here where we're going to have to dig. So sadly, to do this major job, we're probably going to have to lose this hazelnut tree.
But we
Which
have
would be a
we
shame.
have got seedlings growing, so
We
or
could maybe
saplings.
plant it somewhere else, but
Bit
it's going to take
further
years
over.
to develop. But so this is not an easy job. This is a digger and getting rid of all this spoil.
Yeah, and these trees here,
Yeah,
which
these
are too
self-seeded
close
over
to
years.
the building.
So the retaining wall would have to go all the way because the pantry is below ground level as
Yeah,
well.
this is the pantry
That's
here.
the outside of the pantry. So we'd have to build a very big retaining wall, probably out of building blocks, but then we'll face them with the stones that I've been digging up. And if you turn over there, Susie, I've been saving all these stones for that job, so we can face the wall here. And then, of course, these steps that will come up. We thought, you know, those big cemetery granite slabs by the front garden wall, we thought they'd make fantastic steps.
Yeah.
We'd have to move them, but of course we would have the digger in. So
I don't know why they have these stones sticking out the walls, do you?
it could be a counterweight for the big granite, big stone mantelpieces.
Right.
So they stick them out the wall, there's no way they can tip.
Mm.
I suppose, I don't know, I'm no expert. But that could be an explanation. Because of course, the actual mantelpiece is probably here.
Yeah.
In there, because we're 3 foot missing.
Yeah.
So that would be roughly underneath where the mantelpiece is.
Mm.
So that could be a reason.
Okay.
So there you go. So the kitchen is a major job. It's not a simple redecoration job. We've got to do something with the ceiling. It's not insulated up to the attic, so
No.
we've got to do that. I've got to lighten the beams or do something with the beams. We've got to dig all this out. We've got to dig up the floor, insulate it. We've got to run the electrics into that room because there's no actual sockets in that room. The only light we've got is that one light you saw. Major job. major job. But that's the plan anyway. When it happens.
I think we have to get the log burner working first for the winter.
Log burner's got to be in there for the winter,
Yeah.
so it's going to come up here and up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy. My place in the pecking order, I've gone down. Eh?
Max is happy.
Don't you look at me like that. I'm relegated to Max's chair. Anyway, he's happy. You're happy.
We thought we were going to get a storm. We
Might
can
still
hear the thunder, but it's going over that way.
seems to be going around, but I'm looking at those clouds thinking I'm hoping they're going away.
We will get some thunder and lightning later on in the week, I think.
Yeah.
We do need the rain.
It's very humid still. But anyway, that's today's offering. But we're really excited because tomorrow we're going to film a day in our life. We're doing it tomorrow because this is Tuesday. So this midweek Wednesday vlog will go out Wednesday, but it's all hopefully done and dusted apart from some final edit. That leaves us free tomorrow. And I suspect we're going to need the whole week to edit it. But you will see, you will see everything from the start to the end of the day.
Well, obviously you can't film everything, but most...
We are
Well,
going to be
what we
following each other all day with a camera. Oh, hello.
Can't move
Fair
now.
enough. I'm stuck. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. We've never done it before. It's going to take an awful lot of filming. And we chose Wednesday because it was the most convenient day to do because of the time it would take to edit. But actually, we've got a pretty hectic day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, every day's hectic, but tomorrow's... it's going to be very interesting because we've got all sorts of different elements going on tomorrow. Some of them we're forced into, you know, with medical stuff and whatever. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to go for it, aren't we?
And the boiler man's back tomorrow.
The boiler man is apparently back tomorrow. He's been here twice now. He's fitted new parts and
It's not working again.
yeah, it lasted 30 minutes and then it went off. But they're going to come back apparently tomorrow, which, funny enough, we could do without tomorrow because we're busy enough anyway. But anyway, It's going to be interesting. We suspect, we were thinking about it today, and there's an awful lot going on, and we think even with good editing, it's going to be a long old vlog.
Yeah.
So we may just do it in part 1 and part 2, but we won't make you wait half a week or a week for the part 2 if we do. We'll do it Sunday, and then we'll maybe put part 2 on Monday, if that's the case.
Or it might be an hour long or something.
Yeah, you know, I'm a bit worried about an hour long, because I think that could be a bit too long, but if it's split into 2 parts, it's not so bad. But then if it's interesting, it doesn't matter how long it is. So, and I think if nothing else, it's going to be interesting.
I hope so.
Well, we hope so, otherwise it could be really boring. But so we're going to do that tomorrow. We're really looking forward to that, and all your comments suggest you are as well, so we're very happy, aren't we? Yeah. So we're going to do that tomorrow. I want to go inside.
Yeah.
That is thunder.
It's a bit black over there.
Yeah, Lexi's legged it. She doesn't like thunder at all. Baxter's barking out back somewhere.
We are hoping to eat our dinner outside, but we might have to dash in.
We may have to. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed today's offering, and we shall see you Sunday for a day in our life. Warts and all. Well, no warts, but you know what we mean. And thank you once again, for all your lovely comments, encouraging comments and positive comments. They're fantastic. We absolutely love them. We read them all and we reply to them all.
Keeps us going.
Keeps us going. And, you know, we've noticed in the last couple of weeks it's taking us a bit longer to respond to you, because you're probably used, especially if you're regular commenters, you're probably used to us giving you a fairly quick response, but it's taking a bit longer now. But we will respond, because we like your comments. We like that interaction. It's brilliant, and thank you to all of you, and thank you to Brian and Kathy again.
Yeah,
they've done it again, buying us some coffees. You're
really kind.
Unbelievable. You're absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. And Miriam, who loves Max. She absolutely adores him. Come on, get on there for Miriam.
She's bought you a coffee, Max.
Yeah. So thank you, Miriam.
More biscuits.
You're very kind again.
And carrots.
Yeah. Thank you to our patrons. You're wonderful. You really are. And yeah, we just love this vlogging. You know, don't we? And love just interacting. It's we never feel as though we're alone here, do we?
No.
You know, we just feel that we're part of something, and I know a lot of you call us your friends, and that's how we feel. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone. We'll keep doing it as long as you want us to keep doing it. So tonight we're going to leave you with some sparrows. Might not sound exciting, but we like it, and we think you'll like it. So
we'll see you Sunday.
We'll see you for a rather hectic day in our life.
Bye.
Bye.